Brooklyn Independent Television.
Caught in the Act is supported in part by public funds from the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs in partnership with the City Council.
Coming up, making a new album in the studio with Dragons of Zynth. The thrill of knowing it's working.
One more time.
In Fort Greene, MoCADA asks Brooklyn student artists to imagine the future.
Every moment that I painted, I was just like, wow, I really did this?
Using dance as the microphone to amp what I say, feel, think, huh? And y'all, it's real.
Members of Urban Bushwomen strut their stuff in rehearsal.
Ding, dong, dong.
Ivo Perelman plays tenor sax, and his art is intimately tied to his music. The Sunday Drum Circle in Prospect Park, a weekly celebration of our rhythmic roots.
No matter what your instrument is, the African drum was the beginning.
They're all caught in the act. Art in Brooklyn.
Damn. Shuhei.
Yeah, you can have the vibe effect, you know.
Right.
My name is Aku, and I'm in the band Dragons of Zynth. And yeah, we're getting ready to finish our record, our second full-length release. We got Bizza on the drums. We have Fan Lin, and she's been playing bass and keys for us. She's a great balancing force and energy in a band with some volatile male egoic characteristics. And then there's my bro, Corte. He's my twin. He is kind of like the magical entropic entity of the band.
Akwete means first twin in Ghana, and my brother Aku, that means second twin. My brother and I, he's more of like a musically inclined. He studied classical piano when he was very young, and I would always destroy his piano competition trophies out of jealousy. And the psychology of it was very wrong. 5, 6, 7. I consider my brother to be musically pretty exceptional, I think. I come from a more putting the pastels on the board approach to making music. So at times it can be head scratching. A lot of patience is needed. But yeah, we find a way, I guess.
We were in a place where we didn't know what we were going to do for a long time, you know, because we put out the first record and we had so high hopes for it, and we had a couple pretty awesome situations in terms of like labels and the booking agents, managers, all that stuff, and there was all this like hype stuff around us. So after we put out the record and our label situation went sour, I wasn't even into it. All I wanted to do was tour for the rest of the tours that we had, but in terms of like promote, I didn't even tell anybody about anything, you know. And we didn't have a studio, you know, we didn't have really anybody to like help the way that it was the first time, because like we came in and there was just a million people on us. So in the time we were figuring out what to do as a band, I met Shuhei, who is now the engineer on our record. You know, Shuhei emailed me randomly. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna move into a space pretty soon. You know, maybe we can do something over there. I walked in and I was like, this is it. And I saw it right there, like, Shuhei, you and I are gonna do this. And we built the studio more or less, you know. We built the drum room and the live room. And so we just started because it was there. Like it all just came together, you know what I mean? It was like staring at me in the face. It was like, we can do this now.
Shuhei, can we try something? On the guitar, real quick. Yeah.
I mean, you could use a lot of analogies, baton passing, handing someone the keys to the whip, that kind of thing. This time around, though, having an engineer and a room and instruments, yeah, that's all you need.
One more time. Wait, Funland, does this sound like anything?
Let's just say that there will be like reception, meaning, you know, when the radio station fuzzes out on you. We're not trying to fuzz out on people, man. We're trying to talk.
I'd say after the first record, people were like, are they or aren't they? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, we are, motherfuckers, we are. It's been like 6 or 7 months of being only focused on this one thing. And it's been really enjoyable. But you get so deep into it that you don't even know where you are anymore. You're just like, oh, I'm going, I'm swimming, I'm floating, you know? Like, and all of a sudden, you know, you got all your tracks.
We're done. Say if you need. That's it, I'm happy, man. I'm good.
You know, we took the time to really come together ourselves, like as a band, and like take control of the sound. I'd say that complete creative control is really the thing that we cherish the most. I'm happy and like tired and happy, but I'm really happy.
Students are always making art at school. However, rarely does it end up in a museum. In this case, students were commissioned by the Museum of African Diasporan Art to create an exhibit called Afrofuturism.
The young students that are participating in this program are learning about ancient African traditions in an attempt to understand the future and how they, as individuals, connect within that future.
Brooklyn students from elementary through high school participated in the year-long program. Lori Cumbo describes what she feels the program did for the students.
Each of them is expanding their imagination, their horizon, and even what we even think is possible in the artwork that you'll see.
Created in part by educational coordinator Ruby Amanze, the concept of Afrofuturism was interpreted differently by different students.
Thinking about recycling, thinking about the earth and what the earth would look like in the future, the students created their version of an earth, but in the shape of a heart to represent a love and respect for the planet. Other groups of students thought about it very much from an out of space, intergalactical sort of place. And then others just thought about it from, well, what would be better than now?
and they express their points of view through a variety of media, from painting to video and reusing of materials.
So most of the schools that we work with either don't have an arts program, or they have an arts program but they don't have the resources to do Photoshop or photography or some other media outside of paper.
Like students we caught up with who attend Kurt Hahn High School in East Flatbush.
That was my first time painting, actually, and I really didn't think that it would have came out like that. Like, every moment that I painted, I was just like, wow, I really did this? I was proud of myself.
Brandon's piece, featuring the late Tupac Shakur, challenged gender roles in today's hip-hop.
If he was one of the greats, why can't a female be in that same position as him?
After sharing the art technique that created the foundation for her futuristic robot, Shanna Kay shared what the program has meant to her.
I think art is so amazing just from that one piece, because like I learned so much things just in that little bit of time, and it just made me excited.
And she's not the only one.
I'm very excited to see what these young people will do with being educated and given these tools in order to express themselves.
For Caught in the Act, I'm Tati Amara.
Our founder is Jalale Willa-Jozaler. She's originally from Kansas City, Missouri, and she moved to New York in 1980 to study with Diane McIntyre. In 1984, Jalale decided that she was going to form her own company, and she called it Urban Bushwomen.
Party time, y'all!
She, I believe, wanted to challenge some of the notions of dance, about body types, about ways you could dance.
And what I loved when I saw Urban Bushwomen, these were women who were AKA dancing like men, in the sense of they were being big and boisterous, they were being dynamic, they were covering space, they were being accepting themselves and challenged everything what you thought a woman shouldn't be doing.
The beauty of Urban Bushwomen is that you can come into the company with a number of skill sets. We're all very different, and Jalale encourages that, and there's definitely value in individual. I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, and for the most part I grew up in Washington, D.C. I started dancing at the age of 17. My background is primarily postmodern, modern.
I am originally from Birmingham, Alabama. Which is where I began my dance training. There I started training with predominantly ballet and point work.
I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I'm of African-American descent. I started dancing actually Afro-Caribbean dance, specifically Afro-Cuban dance, in an after-school dance program. And we're here at Brooklyn Arts Exchange rehearsing a dance called Bati Moves.
Bati Moves came about because Jalale wanted to sort of create a fun, memorable piece that commented on self, and particularly the Bati refers to, it's a Caribbean term for the butt.
So there are some African movements, there are some like salsa style movements, there's like some reggae style movements. So it's about like pulling all different places from which the Bati moves and putting it in this particular dance.
I see beauty in the tall, thin, long Batis. I see beauty in the thick, short, muscular Batis. I see beauty in the bountiful, bootylicious Batis. So if you've ever been told that your butt was too big, Bati Moves is a celebration of you.
That's a Southern girl trying to make my way.
Using dance as the microphone to amp what I say, feel, think. And y'all, it's real.
It took a little while, but I'm finally here. Now I see the glory of these thighs, and I really understand why my hips are wide.
Quiet like the lion that's on the prowl, but if you cross the line,
she will get loud.
So don't get it twisted.
you better come correct, cause this big mama gets much respect. And now that you know a little bit about me, the name is Benadja, but just call me B.
That dynamic things that you see on stage and that heartfelt expression, that's what makes it true. It's because we're also going through and continuing to investigate that as a performer each and every time we perform.
Founder Jawale really wanted to share stories of people who are underrepresented in the arts and in dance, and particularly the stories of African diasporan people. Some dance just comes across as beautiful, and you're moved by it, by the beauty of it, but Urban Bushwomen, I think you really take away some of the story, the emotion of it, and it really hits you and it lasts, you know, days later, weeks later, years later. You can still be thinking about it, or you've absorbed it. The Two Pearls are beautiful pieces of Urban Bushwomen's, very awarded pieces and very highly requested. Walking with Pearl Southern Diaries and Walking with Pearl Africa Diaries. They're two pieces Jawale created by reading the notebooks of this incredible choreographer, Pearl Primus. So Jawale read her notebooks and got inspired in terms of the adventures and experiences and witnessed activity that Pearl Primus had seen on her journeys through the South, through the American South, and through Africa.
Beyond the highest clouds, my body still dances with the unquenchable fire, which is Africa.
I believe that dance really has the power to change people. It has the power to heal, it has the power to teach different things, discipline, motivation, like persistence, and just reaching out to people and exposing them to dance is very important to me.
When we go and we teach workshops and master classes, and to see how people take in what we do on a daily basis and breathe life into it. It's the most inspiring thing to witness, and definitely encourages me to keep on doing this work.
My name is Ivo Perelman, and I've been playing music ever since I remember. Then when I was 16 or 17, I put my hands in a saxophone, a tenor saxophone, and I felt, wow, this is it. This is exactly what I want to do. I felt it right there. I put the saxophone in my mouth like this, and it was like a big elephant or something. I felt a connection right there. I've been painting, not for a long time, maybe 15 years ago I started. I was looking for an alternative way for self-expression. And I just started like that, you know, for no reason, and I loved it. Loved playing with the colors and shapes in an abstract way. I like to play and paint the same way, abstract shapes, textures, sounds, shapes, colors. I don't like any preconceived ideas when I am about to perform. I like to leave it wide open. I don't really know what inspires me. I know when I am inspired. It might be a beautiful woman, a beautiful child, a beautiful flower, an ugly day. I just have to accept that that day I might be inspired and I might not. And I decide and choose to be in the moment.
Okay, so this thing here typifies my obsession with line. I mean, there's so much nuance in just lines, and it kind of says a lot without information. It's just suggesting your imaginary world to wonder about. And when I actually am doing this, I am feeling very rhythmic. And in fact, I feel that I am playing a saxophone solo. I mean, you might not hear it, but I heard it intensely. And it was more or less like some crazy line like that. So I'm going to try to play on the saxophone what I just did now. Hopefully it will work. The difficulty is I'm recreating something that happened 5 years ago, and I am very spontaneous. I don't like to do this. All right, so you set up something, okay? Like, ting, tong, ta, ting, ting, ta, okay, ting, ta, okay, go.
I'm very excited about the 2 new albums that are coming out now. 2 very special projects. One is with the Sirius Quartet. It's a bunch of great string players that were legitimately trained at a conservatory, can read and do anything that a classical musician do, but they also are incredible mad improvisers. I've started to do records back in the late 80s. I just love the experience of being in the studio. It really is magical. So when the engineer says tape is rolling, and I get really excited because I know something new is going to take shape, something that will probably surprise me again and again, and that's why I do it. So all these recordings, 40 years of recording, you know, I hope I can do many, many more, but this is probably the filet mignon of what I do. I just love to be in the studio. And the other project is a trio with pianist Matt Shipp and drummer Gerald Cleaver. I've been playing with them and bass player, guitar player Joe Morris for the last couple years, and that mainstay quartet of mine with them, I've broken up into smaller subgroups, and I am dissecting this format like that, and it's been highly rewarding because those are fantastic musicians, and every time we play within a different format, it's like a whole new band.
Starting 1970, we started here in Prospect Park. A few of the guys and I continually came here every Sunday until it expanded into what it is today. This drum session was built mainly for the diaspora of drums as well as people. Here you can come whether you know how to play a drum or not, and play.
Anybody that wants to come and sit down and learn how to play the drums, we have master drummers here that can teach them that. We have people that pass through from all over the world. We have drummers that pass through from all over the world. The drummer circle is known from coast to coast. Me personally, I'm a Vietnam vet, and I found out it's the best way to relieve my stress. matter what your instrument is, the African drum was the beginning. We will find a way to blend you in with what we're doing.
Everybody come and play their own instrument of their spirit. Some plays the shekere, some play the bell, some play the drum, some people just clap their hands.
There are people who come and dance. They come from different places. They do different kinds of dances, but it's all part of what we do here. It's exposing your culture as well as mine.
I'm from Holland and I'm visiting New York for the summer, and I've actually never been in Prospect Park before. I knew about the Drummers Grove, that people are actually bringing their own drums and then just start playing, and I think it's really amazing because everyone is kind of invited to join. It's a great atmosphere, it's really festive.
I live in the neighborhood just around the corner. I come to the drum circle quite a lot. I think it's one of the better things about this neighborhood is that people have this kind of communal space to basically go through something together. So yeah, there's a lot of emotion here on a weekly basis. It's kind of essential. I think when you have people living so close together, they have to have some release. So this is, I think, one of the more important places in Brooklyn. I come to this to basically feel the music rather than just listen. You can kind of feel it going through your limbs. It makes me happy and sad at the same time.
I came from Lake Baikal in Siberia, Russia. And it's amazing to be part of this circle, and especially the ceremony they just did to honor the ancestors, to remember where we come from, and to keep dancing so we can massage the Mother Earth and play music and play drums and sing and dance and share love and peace.
Universal love, yes. That's what the Drummers Grove is all about. And I appreciate it so much. I love it.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at breakartsmedia.org/BIT.